Hey guys, so in this video we're going to talk about how to maximize the value of the traffic that you get from Google by boosting your conversions. We're going to cover things like what is conversions and why it's important, how to set up your website so it converts, why it's important to keep testing and improving your conversions once you start getting traffic, and how you can use heat maps to boost your conversions. So let's start with what is conversions and why is it important. Each page on your website needs to have a purpose. Conversions is simply whether or not the traffic you get takes the action you intended them to take. So let's say the purpose of a particular web page is for your traffic to sign up for a free ebook. If they've converted, then they've landed on your website and signed up for that ebook. If they haven't converted, then they haven't signed up for that ebook. So that's what conversions is. Conversion rate is the number of people that took the intended action that you wanted them to take, i.e. sign up for that ebook, divided by the total number of people that have visited that web page. So look at it this way, right? Is it better to have 10,000 visitors on a particular web page and a 1% conversion rate, or 2,000 visitors and a 10% conversion rate? But if you have 10,000 visitors and your conversion rate is 1%, then you're getting 100 visitors converting, right? So you've got 100 opt-ins. But if you have 2,000 visitors and your conversion rate is 10%, then you have 200 visitors, not visitors, conversions, right? So 200 people have signed up for your ebook, you've got 200 opt-ins. So even though you've got more visitors in scenario 1, having a higher conversion rate means you get more people opting in, and that's what you're aiming for with your content, right? That's the purpose of your web page. This is why conversions is important. It allows you to maximize the value of your traffic. It's not just about getting a ton of traffic, it's about does that traffic take the action you want them to take? Otherwise that traffic is kind of pointless, right? Because they're not fulfilling the purpose that you want them to fulfill. Your page isn't doing what you want it to do. That's why conversions is so important. So we've basically just covered conversions, conversion rates, and why it's so important to work on your conversion. So what we're going to do now is look at how you can set up your website so that it converts effectively. And the first thing we're going to look at is above the fold. So what I'm actually going to do is head over to the live screen and show you why it's so important, this concept, and how you can use it to maximize your conversions. Okay guys, so let's talk about above the fold. Above the fold is basically everything you can see on a web page before you start scrolling. So everything you can see on this site at the moment is what we call above the fold. Once I start scrolling, then everything you see afterwards is below the fold. The importance of above the fold is mainly due to the fact that's where all the eyeballs are. When you first land on a web page, a lot of people, myself included and probably yourself, tend to gauge the website just based on what you see above the fold and decide whether or not you're going to scroll down. So if someone lands on this website, they see a header, they see a menu, they see a picture and a book. Is that enough to entice them to keep scrolling? That's why we focus on above the fold, because we have to make sure everything above the fold is good enough so it makes people want to keep reading the content. Now there's a lot of different ways to do this. I like using an engaging picture. It doesn't always work. Some people prefer having some text on the top of the fold as well because it's easy to read. People get reading straight away and want to keep reading more. This is one of the things you have to test. But above the fold is very important, and it's usually where like a lot of advertisements are and where a lot of people pay a lot of money. It's where they pay the premium to have ads on because that's where all the eyeballs are. So you want to make sure you're maximizing the space above your fold. The next thing I want to talk about is sidebar sign up forms. I'm sure you already know what this is, but let's go on the live screen and I'm going to show you how this kind of ties in with above the fold as well. Okay guys, so back at the live screen, we're going to use my website as an example first, and then I'm going to show you some other ones. Immediately here you can see above the fold, as we were discussing before, there's a sidebar sign up form that's designed to get people to see it straight away so they can sign up for the ebook. That's the first point of contact, that they see what I'm offering. Other websites do it as well. It's not just our Philo Jetpack websites. Here's a website, Authority Nutrition, that does it. You can see it right here. Sign up today, and evidence-based nutrition tips and a free copy of the ebook. They're getting you to sign up for their list as well using a sidebar. Although I'm calling them sidebar sign-up forms, they don't always stay on a sidebar. To show you what I mean, here's another website. You can see immediately above the fold there's an enter your email section here. So it's a similar thing, although it's not on a sidebar, it's still above the fold. It's still the way to take action for you to sign up for an email, not an email, for an ebook, and give your email address. The Affilorama website does it as well. Join now, it's free. Although it's not on the sidebar, it's still an example of having something above the fold that gets people to take the action you want them to take. You can probably see how important above the fold is as well through these examples, but it's also important to have a sidebar sign up form, or a form like this where you can sign up immediately for whatever it is that you want them to take, i.e. the action you want them to take. The next thing I want to talk about is content forms, which are also known as feature forms. They kind of tie in with sidebar sign up forms as well, so some of the things I talk about are going to apply for both. You'll see when I head over to the live screen. Okay guys, so back at the live screen, let's first establish what a content form is. Basically, a content form is just a form that basically appears within your content, anywhere within it. It's usually at the bottom though, that's kind of the most common place, as you can see right here. So the things I'm going to tell you apply for both content forms and for the sidebar sign up forms up here as well that we spoke about previously. So the first thing you want to notice, you want to use a compelling title. We've spoken about this a lot, but it's really important. So where it says how to get a man to love you, the incredible 7-step guide, you want to have a title that's going to attract people's attention and make them want to get a hold of it. Okay, and the next thing is to use an image of your ebook, like we've done so here. That's kind of as part of the Velo Jetpack. But that's another thing that really attracts someone's attention, because they see what they're going to get. Instead of you just telling them they're going to get it, they see a picture of what they're going to get. Another thing to note is that you don't want to use negative words like subscribe or join my list. Those are very common and they become a bit of a cliche where people don't like the idea of being on an email list. So instead of saying subscribe now, you can say download it now, get it free, or another variation of that. Another very important thing you want to do specifically for content forms and not sidebar forms is lead into it. You don't want to have an article and a content form that just appears at the bottom and is completely irrelevant. So with your content, you want to lead into it. So for example, here I write, to further your knowledge and in the spirit of helping you keep your man interested, I've got a free ebook available below that actually teaches you how to get a man to fall in love with you in 7 steps. And then that's basically me leading into it. Instead of just putting it up there, that doesn't really work as well. You want to lead into your ebook to make people want to download it. So that kind of covers content forms and sidebar sign up forms. You want to use them as a way to get, well, as your primary way to get people to sign up for your email list, because that's the way you do it with a content site. So there's one more thing I want to look at in regards to content forms. If we scroll down to the bottom, so instead of having a content form here, as per normal, I lead into my article saying things like I've created an in-depth blah 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 that will teach you, etc. So I lead into it as normal, but instead I have a call to action which says check out my free ebook that will teach you, etc, etc, and it's linked. So it's big text as well. It makes them want to click it, and when they click it, it actually takes them straight to my squeeze page, which is another way to get them to sign up to my ebook. So it's worth testing this out and using different kind of methods to try and get subscribers. Okay, so the next thing we want to talk about is decreasing distractions to increase focus on the action you want them to take. And I'm going to head straight over to the live screen and show you what I mean by this. Okay guys, so this one's pretty self-explanatory. So let me just head to the bottom and show you what I mean. So clearly this website is set out, well, this web page in particular is set out for people to click on this link, go to my squeeze page and sign up for a free ebook. So the idea is I want to put as little things around this section as I can. So I don't want to have like hyperlinks here and hyperlinks here and giving them different options. I want to give them a solid option, which is this one here. This is why I've made it a header, why I've made it stand out. It's underlined, it's a hyperlink. I want them to click on this. Yes, there's these buttons here, but they don't stand out as much as this one does. You want to decrease the distractions around the call to action because you want them to only focus on that. It's the same as with your sidebar sign up form, right? When you have that here, you want that to be the focus. You don't want them to have different options. You can see within my article, I do have an internal link to another page on my website, but that's very far away from my call to action. So that's what I mean by decreasing distractions. If you have a call to action, if you have a point on your website or your content where you want them to take action, don't put anything else there. Don't have any other links. Give them one option and one option only, so they're forced to do that. The last conversion thing I want to talk about is pop-up forms. They're quite controversial in the sense that some people like them and some people don't. I'm sure you know what they are. It's basically when you're reading a piece of content on a website and all of a sudden this box comes up and there's like a free ebook asking for your name and email. It's one of those things you want to test out to see if it works with you. Because sometimes it can be distracting if someone's actually engaged in your content and that pops up. But sometimes it can actually be very useful if they're actually interested in what that offer is. It could be something that you set up to pop up when they leave the website, but that can be frustrating as well. Pop-up forms do work, they do increase your conversions, but it's something you need to test out and find a way to do subtly so it doesn't annoy people. Okay guys, so we've just covered some of the cool things that you need to implement to boost your conversions and maximize your traffic. What I want to talk about next is the fact that you need to keep testing and improving on your conversion rate. Test different things and keep making changes to see what works best. There is no 100% conversion rate or something that works 100% at a time. You can change things like your title tags for your ebooks or your sidebar sign up forms or your content forms. You can change the pictures, you can change what it says, you can change where you put the forms, you can change so many different things. You basically want to test and question everything to see what works best. If you have an idea that you think will boost conversions, test it out and see what happens. Heat maps are great for improving your conversion rates. One I like to use is called Crazy Egg. What a heat map actually does is shows where people are clicking most on your website, and that can be very useful to help you boost conversions. It's not something I would consider immediately, but once you start getting quite a lot of traffic, then you really want to boost your conversions, and installing a heat map is going to help you with that. And I think I've already shown you why conversions are so important, so when the time comes, it's definitely worth investing in a heat map. And that's pretty much it for this video, guys. You now have an in-depth understanding of conversion rates and conversions and what you can do to boost your conversions. You also understand the importance of testing and improving your conversions in order to maximize the value of your traffic. That concludes the video. Next video we'll discuss optimizing your sign up funnel. But before you go, I really want you to take away the importance of conversions. So don't forget, it's very important to maximize your traffic. Have a good day, guys.